Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you. It's always a privilege each time you get the opportunity to speak with people. It's a privilege that should not be taken for granted. Thank you very much. Today I want to speak to you on the subject parenting, just giving you parenting tips that work. Parenting tips that work. I fully subscribe to the words of Wendy Olonge when she said, the key to unlocking the child's academic potential begins in the home. Who a child becomes is dependent on who raised them, where they raised them, and how they raised them, and what the person who raised them know. Knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, is key, is a prerequisite of raising children. Any parenting style that does not follow the process of learning, unlearning and relearning is dead on arrival. If you are not informed, you will be deformed. If you are not inspired, you will expire. Knowledge is key to transformation. Those who know rule over those who don't know. Allow me to recognize the presence of fathers in this audience. Research has proven that parents, especially fathers, who are connected to the school system in terms of actively being involved in the learning of a child, their academic performance improves. A father who will attend all the activities of the school, drops and picks the child, assists the child in the homework. In most cases, such children do well in their academic work. Parenting is first and foremost about you. You know, the natural child is like a sponge. He sucks from you. If you, as a parent, you are weak, they will suck from friends, social media, neighbors, teachers, and school. Children learn more by what they see, more than what you tell them. From age 1 to 13, they are sucking their sponge from you. And from age 13 to 19, they begin to squeeze out what they sucked. Your children take after your modeling. Bad modeling is easier to follow than good modeling. Good things call for intentionality. Some successful children learned business skills from their parents, who were manufacturing and selling something at the back of the yard. They learned mechanics by observing the dead at work. Most of the leading innovators of this world had parents who had garages where they did something. They observed and learned from their parents. The question is, where is your garage where your children can learn from? Your garage can be your study room where you read and study. When you are a reading parent, chances are high your children will be reading too. You must model even without saying much. Your children will naturally pick it up. Sometimes someone actually said, preach by all means you can. If necessary, use words. Children are created to be like a sponge, to soak things up. As parents, you must have enough juice to soak. You must be ready to change. The world we live in is not changing. It has already changed. Stop living in denial. What has come has come. It will never change. If we can't admit, we can't help our children. Dinosaurs became extinct because they could not adapt to change. Instead of being commentators, children of nowadays don't listen. We should take a step. You cannot use the same method used in the past. Your bedroom is too small to raise world changers. Intentional parenting changes you first before it changes the child. Influence your child. Don't use force. You don't beat influence into a child. You create influence and leave influence. Nobody listens to someone who doesn't influence them. I say this so that it sinks. Nobody listens to someone who does not influence them. The reason why our kids spend more time watching television is because the television has so much influence on them. You want your child to excel at school. What systems and structures have you put up to help your child excel? If you expect your child to be a leader at school, what skills have you imparted to your child which will help him to rise in that space? Authority is respect and not trust. Authority is not force or control. If your child cannot respect or trust you, you have lost authority. If your child cannot share with you what they feel about you, others, and themselves, they cannot trust you. If the child believes the teacher more than they believe you, you have failed as a parent. If your teacher has taken over, you check your relationship with your child. There is a problem. Run, sir. Run, sir. Discipline your child. Discipline comes from the word disciple, which means to teach. A number of us are not teaching. We are just waiting for our children to make mistakes and start correcting them. Discipline is not accusation or assumption, trial. When I was your age, I was able to write the homework on my own. You are supposed to know too. How? Know too how? Knowing what? You don't beat skills into a child. You teach them. It is not by yelling or beating, but by teaching and modeling. Build systems that will make them to be disciplined. Correction is the last part of discipline. You complain that your child does not write homework. Did you teach him or her how to study and write homework? If you assume parenting is dead on arrival, you don't beat discipline into a child, you teach. You cannot beat mathematics skills into the head of a child. In the same way, you cannot knock discipline by beating. If you beat your child today and he continues doing the same thing, and tomorrow, and you still do get the same result, there's something wrong with you, sir. There's something wrong with you, sir. Only a madman does the same thing again and again and still expect different results. Fear is not discipline. Fear is not discipline. Most of us, our parents used fear, and this is the result. Fear kills a lot of creativity and innovation, and these are the skills that are needed in this century. But because of fear, school, we learned through fear. The teacher would be using a stick, beating us left, right, and center. Yeah, but that was during that time. You cannot import such methods and use them now in the child of this century. It won't work. It won't work. Right. Be consistent and predictable as a parent. Unpredictability is the number one enemy of parenting. Your child does something today, you scream and shout at the top of your voice, and tomorrow you just say and keep quiet. Your toddler throws tantrums because he or she wants a chocolate in the shop and you buy the chocolate. Tomorrow the same toddler cries and rolls on the shop. You want to shout. When you buy the chocolate and the toddler stops, you think you have disciplined the child. You have failed, madam. You have failed dismally. You have just reinforced the indiscipline. Discipline is not a reward system. You cannot reward a child in order to discipline that child. Because if the reward is not there, the child will go back to what he used to do. Doing homework should not be a war issue. It should not be a war issue. Create a routine and structure. Don't do homework for your child. Help your child create a study timetable that suits their learning style. Provide the right environment. And what is the right environment? A chair and a table, not a sofa. Remove the television from their bedroom. What is the purpose of the television in the bedroom? The television must be in the sitting room. not bedroom. Do not use reading as punishment. You switch off their television and you tell them, scolding them, go and read, go and read, go and read. Yeah, you collect all their gadgets and lock them up. One of the students in my class was saying, my father collected all my gadgets, tablet, laptop, and everything, and my phone, and said I should go and read. He will give me at the end of the term. Yeah. Don't use reading as punishment. Don't tell them homework is important. Show them. Make them understand homework is for practicing what you learned at school, and reading is for enhancing capacity. Don't force, nag, fight. It doesn't give you the results that you want. It will backfire when you do that at the end. Teach and demonstrate study habits. Start from what they like and to what they don't like. You build children or any person from their strength to their area of weakness. Encourage and support your child in little things. Be their guide, not their critic. Don't be focused on their weaknesses as if there is a reward for it. Do not use extrinsic motivation to encourage them to do homework. If you finish your homework, I will give you 2 hours of play. Quick fixes don't last. Discipline is not an emergency. Discipline is not an emergency. Right? Oh, this quick fix. No. It's not like that. Discipline takes time. Once the reward is removed, the child goes back to square one. Let them understand the value of doing homework. Teach them to learn how to learn. Getting good grades isn't the whole essence of going to school. Instilling the love of learning, in which your child learn how to enjoy learning, is the whole purpose of education. The primary goal of learning is not to go to university or get a job. If that is the case, good. Most people with that kind of a mindset, after getting a degree, they stop reading. That's why if you ask you here, how many of you have read a novel or a book, you find that none. Someone just say, after I get a degree, that's the end of it. Because in them, when they were growing up, the culture of reading was not inculcated into their life. Allow your child to go through the natural consequences of their action. Allow the child to go through the natural consequences of their action. Your aim as a parent is to make your children independent and innovative on their own. You cannot be policing your children 24/7. You are a helicopter parent, always hovering above your children. Your aim should be to create children who are self-disciplined, even if you are not there. Let them face the natural consequences of their misbehavior. You are not going to be with them every time. My own son is overseas. Yeah, I'm not there to monitor what he's doing. But I inculcated enough skills for him to survive on his own, make his own decision, and be accountable to those decisions. Do not shield the child by explaining to the teacher why he did not write the homework. I get most of the parents, when the child does not do homework, the parent will phone me or write in the diary, Mr. NN, Mr. Ndiweni, don't trap my child. He did not do the homework because we had gone to the Keke post, or we came late, or there was no mhlakase. Most parents belong to the Minister of Defense, truth be told, or the Minister of Bailout. There are some parents who are still making decisions for their 30 to 40-year-olds. When you do that, you kill their emotional and social skills. Life does not revolve around you alone. We don't live life alone. We do life as a community. Social and emotional intelligence are key skills a child needs to navigate life. Doing things on your own increases your confidence. If they are struggling with homework, let them take a break and come back and think through the problems. Let them figure out things for themselves. Allow them to make a lot of mistakes. bailout has made children to become a mercy in this society. Never take away the struggle or the process. The process is very important. It determines the product. The challenge we face are children who are not resilient and tenacious. They can't stand on their own. They have banana backbones. There are some students who cannot use public transport because parents feel they are too young. They are still choosing clothes for them when they are going to church. Someone is 13-year old and the parents are choosing the clothes for them. Guide them. Let them know what to wear, what is right to wear. And then the choice must be up to them. Right. Resilience is not about being tough, but growing through adversity. Most children can commit suicide nowadays because the chocolate is white instead of, you buy a white chocolate instead of a brown chocolate. Or because the parents bought Nando's instead of Hungry Lion. If butterflies did not go through the process of struggling, there would be no beautiful, colorful butterflies. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, parenting is not preparing your child for today, but for a future you may not see. It is not about removing the mountains from your children, but helping them to climb the mountain so that when you are not there, they can navigate on their own. To be a successful parent, you need to step out of your cocoon and read. Remember, readers are leaders and leaders are readers. My name is Ndiweni. I hope you were blessed.